Hello, Eric Weaver. He's an EPAC kid from many years ago, which brings me to my first subject. This is our annual preview subscriber party event. We love this night because to me, this is a family reunion where we all get together, talk about the year to come, say hello to each other, celebrate the past year, and look forward to the year to come. We had a wonderful year last year. Thank you all, our subscribers, our friends. You made last year an incredible year at the box office and critically. So yes, clap for yourselves, clap for us. It was a fabulous year. The reviews are great. The box office did great. And hopefully next year we will keep climbing. I believe that EPAC is on a roll, and let's hope we keep on rolling. Okay? So tonight we are going to present scenes and songs from our upcoming season. We will be uncensored this evening, as we always are at EPAC, so fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a fun but bumpy ride, hopefully. All right, straight to business. Straight to business. Our first show! Our opening number is from, not our first show, but our first number is from our middle musical, bear with me, Cage Aux Folles. Cage Aux Folles, we did that many moons ago, we're doing it again. Yes, and I wonder who's going to be our band. I need a comic actor who doesn't mind dressing up in women's clothes. If anybody knows somebody like that, please let me know, and I will have him killed. After 30 years on the throne, I do get some choices. And I will come back, and I think after that, I always say this every year, but I think after the Cage, I am hanging up my heels. And I always say that. I'm like Joan Crawford in 1965, still playing 30-year-old women. Pat Carter is going to be directing Cage. I'm very excited about that. We're back together again. But our opening number is going to be Cage. Why this is, well, I feel Cage is, well, how shall I put this, apropos for our theater, is because, well, the show takes place in a nightclub in Saint-Tropez, known for its cross-dressing ensemble and its cross-dressing star Zaza. So at both EPAC and Cage, we see life, let us put it this way, on an angle. So when I say on an angle, I want you to play a game with me. When I say on an angle, I want this side to lean that way. Okay? On an angle. Lean, lean, you're not leaning. This way, this way. Thank you. And when I say on an angle, I want this side to lean that way. You and you. On an angle. Lean, 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 lean. Oh, what beautiful. Beautiful. I wish half my cast took direction as well as you. Now, I'm going to say it, and I both want you to lean your own directions, okay? Here in Cage, we seem to see life on an angle. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, there is a man right there in the front row trying to go both ways. But who are we to judge? We don't judge here. Not to worry, my darling, you'll soon get your bearings. So, take a deep breath. Open your eyes. And what do you see? It's rather gaudy, but it's also rather grand. And while the waiter pats your check, he'll kiss your hand. The clever gigolos romance the wealthy matrons at their Cage Aux Folles. It's slightly 40s, but a little bit new wave. You may be dancing with a girl who needs a shave, where both the riffraff and the royalty are patrons at their Cage Aux Folles. La Cage Aux Folles, the maitre d' is dashing. Cage Aux Folles, the hat check girl is flashing. We import the drinks that you buy, so your Perrier is Canada Dry. eccentric couples always punctuate the scene. A pair of eunuchs and a nun with a marine. To feel alive, you need a limousine to drive you to the Cage Aux Folles. And now, I'd like to present the cast of our little troupe tonight. Please give a big hand to Elizabeth Beatty. Elizabeth, where are you? Yes. Elizabeth Beatty. Elizabeth. EPAC's reigning diva. Now, be careful. Tread cautiously. She's not in a very good mood tonight. She was the only one in Death of a Salesman who didn't win a Broadway World on Top Award. Mary Kay? Who's next? Oh, Christy Oliga! Yes, Christy Oliga, who is yesterday from beautiful leading lady to character actress as Miss Hannigan. Yes, give her a hand and be supportive. The beautiful Stacia Smith. Stacia, where are you, my lovely? Yes. You have seen Stacia Sunday in the Parker Georgia. Oh, isn't she gorgeous? Sunday in the Parker Georgia. Now her better half, her husband, Nick Smith. Nicky, where are you, my darling? Come out. Yes. Perhaps you remember Nick Smith as the MC in Cabaret. You've seen him. You've seen a lot of him. If you saw the show, you've seen them all. Hello, Nick. Sean Deverly, our currently reigning juvenile. Sean is everything. He's heavy and thirsty with love. Now, who's left? I know there's one person. Oh my God. I am going to introduce a star. A big star who's now equity. He no longer works with us on the community theater since he got his equity card. He has moved on to bigger and better things. He looks down at us, spits at us, but he will do us the honor of singing with us tonight for old time's sake, Mr. Brian Smith. Brian Smith. And lest I forget, I would love to introduce a new member of the tribe. Here is Mr. Zach Smith. Zach Smith, give a hand. Zach joined us in Cabaret, and now he's part of the group. Oh, look at him play. What this boy can do with his fingers. Does your mother know what you do with your fingers? Oh, well. Wait till after the show, and I'll tell you what I can do with my fingers. Oh, they are short, though. Well, you know what they say, size doesn't matter. I know a duchess who got pregnant at the bar. Just who is who and what is quite a question and a Cage Aux Folles. The mystery, the magic, and the mood. The boy, the hustlers, and the mood. For you get hammer and romance and indigestion at the Cage Aux Folles. La Cage Aux Folles, a Saint-Tropez tradition. Cage Aux Folles, you'll lose each inhibition. All week long we're wondering who left the green chip down in the loo. You go along to have the evening of your life. You'll meet your mistress and your boyfriend and your wife. It's a bonanza, it's a mad extravaganza, the Cage Aux Folles. You cross the threshold and your bridges have been burned. The bar is cheering for the Duchess has returned. You have to take together, messing and eclectic and the Cage Aux Folles. Thank you very much. They'll be back. Before we proceed with our show, I'd like to introduce a board member who has a few words for you. So please give a warm EPAC welcome to our head of development, Joan Adams. Hello, Joan.
Welcome and good evening. It's so good to see you all here tonight. You know, we always talk about how wonderful our subscribers and our supporters are. I hope you know that we do love you tremendously. Without you, we just could not exist. And although tonight is about whetting your appetite for this fabulous season you're going to enjoy this year, it's also our little way of saying thank you for all of your support. So we do truly want to thank you to the board of directors and everyone here at EPAC. First of all, to our subscribers, without your upfront investment of buying that subscription, we really just would not have the funds to be able to begin our season, to pay our royalties and do everything we need to do up front. So we thank you for that investment. And also, so many of you are such a large part of our donors. You give above and beyond your ticket prices, and we can't thank you enough for that. It's so important to us. And then also to our sponsors. Many of you who are in the audience tonight, your generous underwriting provides that that grid work that we can build our season upon, and we could not exist without you. And we do want to recognize you tonight just very briefly. And I don't know if I can ask our house lights to recognize people or not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Could we do house lights, Jeff?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, we can.
They're good. They're good. So just thank you to all of you who are here tonight who support our theater that matters. We hope we make a difference in our community, and we thank you for being a part of that. So I want to thank, first of all, if you would join me in thanking our good friend Alejandro Rosado and 1234 Microtechnology. They are our season sponsors. And then our season media sponsor, once again, our very long-standing friend, Cindy Mellinger with Blue Ridge Communications. And I think, Cindy, are you here tonight? I thought she was going to be here tonight, but Blue Ridge Communications. Newer friends who we love dearly is Sponsorship Plus, the Little Mermaid this year, and that is Ted Williams with Ameriprise Financial Services. And we also have a Little Mermaid opening night performance sponsor. We are so happy to have Solvent Solutions with Troy and Barbie Cantler. I think, are you here tonight? Yes, they're right there. Sponsor I just want to thank, and that's Greta Lobby, who is an individual performance sponsor. She might be in the back working on it. And then we're pleased to announce Monty Python's Spamalot. We have an opening night performance sponsor, and that is Dr. Wendell Funk. Are you here tonight? And then Shrek The Musical. We have several performance sponsors. We would like to thank Remax Associates of Lancaster. And also a performance sponsor is the Historical Society of the Cocalico Valley, once again. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank our co-sponsor for the show, and that is Ephrata National Bank. Tonight we have an individual show sponsor, and we have all these levels. Don't worry about the details, but we have an individual show sponsor for every single show this year, and that is Green Mountain Cyclery and the Farrington family. So a big round of And we are so grateful for our local restaurants who are so supportive. I hope you go to dinner before you come to shows with them. And they help with our catering, and they donate so much to us. So I'd like to recognize our opening night party sponsors for Little Mermaid, Spamalot, and Carrie, and that's Lily's on Maine. They donate all. And then finally, and I'll get off the stage and give it back to Ed, our opening night party sponsor for Cage and Shrek, and who did our catering tonight, and that is The Hill, formerly known as the Hilltop Inn. Our list of sponsors is continuing to grow. Please contact us. You can do that through the office or see any board member tonight, and we will be happy to I go, it just reminded me, in case you didn't hear, we have an alumnus coming home next weekend, and that is Mr. Jonathan Groff. And he will be here doing a benefit concert next Saturday night. There are still some tickets available. You know, some people say they're a little pricey, but it's all a benefit for the theater, and your performance ticket is tax deductible. So you'll get to see Jonathan in this tiny space, be up close and personal, and then if you choose to buy a party ticket afterward, which I highly recommend, walk across the parking lot, join us at the American Legion. We have a fabulous chef doing wonderful hors d'oeuvres. There'll be open wine and beer bar, and we'll get to mingle and talk with Jonathan. He's always very generous with his fans. So come to the party afterward. You can get your tickets by calling the box office or going online. So I hope to see you there. It's going to be a party.
Thank
you.
Thank
you, Ed, and thank you.
Thank you. I just want to reiterate what Joan said. Jonathan Groff tickets, every dollar we raise for Jonathan Groff goes back into EPAC. So it is, Jonathan's giving us the services, he cares about this theater. So it might seem expensive, but every dollar raised on this concert will go right back to EPAC and help us keep our doors open for many, many years to come. Okay, as most of you know, one of the shows we do every year, which has become very popular, is what's called our Kids for Kids production, which is a musical, which is all cast with kids under 16. They have become extremely popular. In the past, we've done Beauty and the Beast Jr., Annie Jr. This year, we are doing Disney's The Little Mermaid Jr. So here to present a number from their show, which opens very shortly, is the cast, the young, wonderful cast of Disney's Little Mermaid Jr.
Life under the sea is better than anything they got up there. The seaweed is always cleaner in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is something for sleep. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down there, it's weather, take it from me. Up on the shore they will go me, out in the sun we slip away. Wow, we put it good time to go there under the sea. Down here all that she's happy, so the roots they will. Beyond the place. Under the sea. Nobody made us cry us and made us think us see. We was the lack of love to go. Under the sea we are found. We got no troubles, life is the bubbles under the sea. And they sound and talk. When I start music to me, what do they got to understand? We got a aquastation band, each little step you go out the way. That's why it's hot under the water, yeah, down in the monkey, you're under the sea.
Thank you. Weren't they great? Let's give them another hand. Okay, and that brings us to our first play of the season. Our first play of the season, we always like to open with a big note, and we are doing it again this year. We are opening with the Pulitzer Prize winning August Osage County. August Osage County has been hailed as one of the greatest plays of our generation. It brings the naturalistic American family drama, which is part of the American arsenal, what we do best, to new heights. Personally, I saw this show at the Music Box Theater. I had heard about it. Everybody was talking about it. I went to see it. I sat by myself because everybody else wanted to go see a rom-com, and I was the only one who wanted to see the show. So I sat in the balcony of the Music Box Theater in seats that were made for people when people were really small, much smaller than me. And I was wedged into the seat, my legs, but I didn't care. I was in pain. Once the show started, I was transported for 3.5 hours into the lives of this family. The scene we're going to present is at the beginning of the show. It's the matriarch. The setup is it's a family in Osage County. The patriarch, who is a poet, has disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. The matriarch is a pill-popping, dying of cancer monster called Violet. She has assembled her brood back, who are all come back home to figure out what has happened to the patriarch of the family, including the eldest daughter, Barbara, and her husband. This is a scene to be performed by Christy Olinger and Brian Smith with Barbara and her husband once they return to the home, and Barbara is trying to get up her nerve to enter this house, fun house of dysfunction.
What's Jean doing?
Smoking.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't say that. I wish you would encourage it.
I haven't encouraged anything.
I don't know. There's just something a little funny in the way you say smoking, like you're admire her for getting hooked at the age of 14.
You ready for this?
No. No way.
Well, take a second.
God, it's hot.
Wait.
Oh, I know it. Colorado spoiled me.
Well, that's the one reason we got out of here.
No. No, it's not.
You suppose your mother's turned on the air conditioner?
You're kidding me, right? I mean, you remember the story about the parakeets.
The parakeets?
I didn't tell you about the parakeets. She got this parakeet for some insane reason, and this little fucker croaked about 2 days after she got it. So she went to the pet store and raised hell, and they gave her another parakeet. That one died after 1 day. So she went back to the pet store and got another parakeet, and that one croaked too. So the woman from the pet store, she came out here to see just what the hell the serial killer was doing to bump up all these birds.
And?
The heat! It was too hot! They were dying in the heat.
Oh, Jesus.
These are tropical birds, all right. I mean, they live in the fucking tropics. God. What were these people thinking?
What people?
People who settled here, the German and the Irish and the French. I mean, who was the asshole who saw this flat, hot nothing and planted his flag? I mean, we fucked the Indians for this.
Well, genocide always seems like a good idea at the time.
All right, You need a little hindsight.
Anyway, if you want me to explain the creepy character of the Midwest, you're asking
No, please, please. This is not the Midwest, all right? Michigan is the Midwest. God knows why, but this is the plains. A state of mind, some spiritual affliction, like the blues.
Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. I just got the plane.
Don't. What, is she smoking a fucking cigar?
Oh, she's coming. You ready, kiddo?
Thank you. Moving on to our first musical of the year, Spamalot. Spamalot. In 1969, 5 young English comedy performers and 1 young American animator decided to team up. Thanks to a smart consultant at BBC, they were given a TV series. They were told they had 13 episodes, no more, and that would be it. So they chose the name Monty Python's Flying Circus. After considering and rejecting such names as Toad, Elevating Moments, Sex and Violence, and Al Screeching Time, and the world of comedy has never been the same. What was 13 seasons turned into 4 seasons and 48 episodes. Finally, they were so popular, they made their first movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Their surreal transformation of the story of King Arthur and his knights and the search for the Holy Grail. The movie became an instant classic with its killer rabbit, its knights who say nyeh, and pyromanic wizard Tim the Enchanter. So Eric Idle of Python decided to make a musical version of the film. He teamed up with composer John Dupre, and famed American director Mike Nichols. The musical kept many of the most famous and beloved characters and bits from the movies, but added new characters and some plots. Opening on Broadway in March 2005, it was a smash hit, winning the Tony for Best Musical, running 4 years, touring widely, and being produced all over the world. We are very happy, and do not take any of the following 3 songs seriously, please. Leave your PC sensibilities at the door while we present 3 songs from Monty Python's Spamalot. Thank you. Starting off is Nick and Stacia Smith singing the song that goes like this. Then I will be singing You Won't Succeed on Broadway, and we'll be ending with Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Thank you and enjoy.
That this song goes.
Ah, they are. Hello, Sir Arthur.
Have you heard of this Broadway?
Yes, I am. We don't stand a chance.
Why not?
Well, because Broadway is a very special place, filled with special people. People who can sing and dance, very often at the same time. There are a different people, a multi-talented people, a people who need people, who in many ways are the luckiest people in the world. No, I'm sorry, sire, but we don't stand a chance.
But who are these special people?
Well, let us put it to you like this.
In every great adventure, if you don't want to lose, victory depends upon the people that you choose. So listen, Arthur, darling, closely to this news. We won't succeed on Broadway if we don't have any Jews. You may have to find a set for the stage with penthouse pets. You may have the loveliest costumes and their shoes. You may sing and you may dance, but I'm sorry, Arthur King, you'll hear no cheers, just lots of boos. You may have butchmen by the score whom the audience adores. You may even have from animals from zoos. Though you're told from crowds instead, you may have unleavened bread, but I tell you, you are dead if you don't have any Jews.
They won't care if it's witty or everything looks pretty. They'll simply say it's shitty and refuse. Nobody will go, sir, if it's not kosher, then no show, sir. Even Goyim will be dim enough to choose. Put on shows that make men stay with lots of girls in underwear. You may even have the finest of reviews. You do it great! But as long as you don't care, sir, to open up on Broadway, you just won't succeed on Broadway if you don't have any Jews.
I got it from on the roof!
Keep going, I love it.
One second.
I love it.
Okay, I'm there, I'm fine. Give me that again. Now, from the little dance music. More than that! Yes! I got it from the world, for life! You may have dramatic lighting and lots of horrid fighting. You may even have some white men sing the blues. Your nights may be nice boys, but sadly we're all boys, and that noise you may call singing you must lose. So despite the pretty lights, naughty girls and nasty tights, and the most impressive scenery you use, you may have dancing mano, you may bring on a piano, but they will not give a damn if you don't have any juice.
Your political correction may give Lenin an erection. I'm sad to be the one with this bad news. Never mind your swordplay, you just won't succeed on Broadway. You just won't succeed on Broadway if you don't have any Jews.
Ready for the big finish? Mama, can you hear us? Now get along on Broadway, to sing a song on Broadway, to hit the top of Broadway, not lose. I tell you of the king, there is one essential thing. There simply must be Jews. They simply must be, oh, trust me, simply must be Jews. Oh my God. Don't worry, the cheap CBS 3 for $5. But still, I have to do the rest of the show like this. Oh well, we're away. say, oh yes, the last show from Spamalot. Always look on the bright side. Take it away. No, it's okay. I'm fine. Thank you.
Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. You give it a try. When life seems jolly rotten, there's something you forgot, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. Life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow.
Always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true.
But you'll see it's all a show. Give the audience a show. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life.
And now to our second play of the season, our June comedy. Neil Simon is probably the most commercially successful playwright in American history. His most famous and beloved play is probably The Odd Couple. The play is based on the experiences of Simon's brother, Danny, who is also a comedy writer. Danny had gotten a divorce, and he moved in with another divorced man. Danny tried to write a play about it, but hit a block. He gave Neil the idea, and Simon created a classic that everyone seems able to relate to. Walter Matthau and Art Carney starred in the original productions, which Mike Nichols directed. It seems we're on a Mike Nichols spree here, which is very apropos. Matthew repeated his role as Oscar in the popular movie version teaming with Jack Lemmon. Now, reading tonight, we have two EPAC stars. We have Nick Smith reading Oscar and Sean Deftly reading Felix in a segment from Neil Simon's The Odd Couple. Enjoy.
All right, let's just everybody settle down, huh?
If you want to live through this night, you better tie me up and lock your doors and windows.
All right, Oscar. I'd like to know what's happened.
What's happened?
That's right. Something must have caused you to go off the deep end like this. What is it? Something I said? Something I did, huh?
It's nothing you said. It's nothing you did. It's you.
I see. Well, that's plain enough.
I could make it plainer, but I don't want to hurt you.
What is it? The cooking? The cleaning? The crying?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the cooking, the cleaning, and the crying. It's the talking in your sleep. It's the moose calls that open your ears at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't take it anymore, Felix. I'm cracking up. Everything you do irritates me. And when you're not here, the things I know you're going to do when you come in irritate me. You leave me little notes on my pillow. I told you 100 times, I hate little notes on my pillow. We're all out of cornflakes. F you. It took me 3 hours to figure out that F you is Felix Ungar. It's not your fault, Felix. It's a rotten combination.
I get the picture.
Well, that's just the frame. The picture I haven't even painted yet. I got a typewritten list in my office of the 10 most aggravating things you do that drive me berserk. But last night, that was the topper. Oh, that was the topper. Oh, that was the ever-loving Lulu of all time.
Well, what are you talking about? The London Royal?
No, not the London Broil. Talking about those 2 lamb chops. I had it all set up with that English Betty Boop and her sister. And I wind up drinking tea all night and telling them your life story.
Oh, so that's it. You're angry because I loused up your evening.
After the mood that you put them in, I'm surprised they didn't go out to Rockaway and swim their way back to England.
Don't blame me. I warned you not to make the date in the first place.
Don't you point that finger at me unless you intend to use it.
All right, Oscar. Get off my back. Get off! Off!
What's this? A display of temper? I haven't seen you really this angry since the day I dropped my cigar in your pancake batter.
Oscar, you're asking me to say something I don't want to say, but if I say it, you'd better hear it.
If you got anything on your chest besides your chin, you better get it off.
All right, I warned you. You're a wonderful guy, Oscar. You've done everything for me. If it weren't for you, I don't know what would have happened to me. You took me in here, gave me a place to live, and something to live for. I'll never forget you for that. You're the tops with me, Oscar.
I've just been told off. I think I may have missed it.
It's coming now. You're also one of the biggest slobs in the world.
I see.
And completely unreliable.
Finished?
Undependable.
Is that it?
And irresponsible.
Keep going. I think you're onto something.
That's it. I'm finished. Now you've been told off. How do you like that?
Good. Because now I'm going to tell you off. For 6 months, I lived alone in this apartment. Alone in 8 rooms. I was dejected, despondent, and disgusted. Then you moved in, my dearest and closest friend. And after 3 weeks of close personal contact, I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Do me a favor. Move into the kitchen. Live with your pots, your pans, your ladle, your meat thermometer. When you want to come out, ring a bell, and I'll run into the bedroom. I'm asking you nicely, Felix, as a friend. Stay out of my way!
Thank you. That brings us to our middle musical. You've already heard one number from it, La Cage Aux Folles. When La Cage Aux Folles, La Cage Aux Folles started, it's one of these things that had life in a lot of theatrical art forms. It started out as a play in France, became very popular. As a matter of fact, it became so popular that David Merrick, the famous American producer, went to Paris to check out this big comedic hit, wanted to produce it in America, starring Zero Mostel as Alban. So that didn't work out. However, the movie was filmed in Paris, was filmed in France, was a big hit, opened at the 68 Playhouse in Manhattan, a small theater. Nobody expected anything. The movie played for years, literally years, with lines outside waiting to get in for every performance. It was one of the hugest international foreign language films of all time in this country. Shortly after that, it became a musical play written by Harvey Fierstein, and then that was a huge hit, winning the Tony, and then it became an American film based on the original play called The Birdcage with Nathan Lane and the dear departed Robin Williams, which again became a huge hit in the American movie houses. So the life of La Cage is wonderful, full of hits. It's a beloved story people never get tired of. It's about a couple, an older couple, Georges, and his partner, Alban, who run a nightclub in Saint-Tropez, La Cage Aux Folles, where Alban is the headliner. Georges' son comes back and is totally in love with a girl called Anne. It turns out that Anne's parents are ultra-conservatives, and they've got to think of some way to hide Zaza to make this marriage work, and complications ensue. It's a typical farce and a beloved story. We're going to sing 2 songs now from La Cage. First up is Sean Deftly singing the role of the son, Jean-Michel, telling his parents how much he loves his new girlfriend Anne with Anne on my arm. Then I will sing I Am What I Am, which is Alban's statement at the end of Act 1.
Girls have come and gone, Papa. Angelique and Antoinette. Who did I prefer, Leslie or Helene? It was all a blur, and yet, Papa, when Anne comes walking down the street, and I link my arm in hers, girls have come and gone, girls may come and go, but something very odd occurs, Papa, 'cause life is in perfect order with Anne on my arm. It makes my shoulders broader with Anne on my arm. Even when things won't gel and the pieces won't fit, I'm suddenly in, I'm suddenly on, I'm suddenly it. Who else can make me feel like I'm handsome and tall? Who else can make me feel I'm on top of it all? I found a combination that works like a charm. I'm simply a man who walks on the stars whenever it's Anne on my arm. Life is a celebration with Anne on my arm. Walking's a new sensation with Anne on my arm. Each time I face a morning that's boring and bland, with you it looks good, with you it looks great, with you it looks grand. Somehow you've put a permanent star in my eye. Each day can feel like July. We start a conflagration that's cause for alarm. We're giving off sparks. We're setting off bells. Whenever it's Anne on my arm.
Let's try this with the words. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So, come take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I want to hide in life. Not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise and I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise, while I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each feather and each spangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I
face. Sometimes excuses. There's one life, and there's no return, and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can shout out loud, I am what I am.
And that brings us to the last play, I believe, of the season, The Elephant Man. The Elephant Man. I think I have this somewhere. They wrote me something very nice to say about the Elephant Man. And... yes. The Elephant Man. In the early 1970s, a young American aspiring novelist named Bernard Pomerantz moved to London from New York for what he could only describe as family reasons. One day, his brother took him to a museum of the London Hospital where he saw the bones of John Merrick, a very deformed 19th century Englishman that were on display. Pomerantz became fascinated with the story of John Merrick and wrote a play about him. It was a moderate success in London, and then it became an enormous success when produced in New York, winning the Tony Award and the New York Drama Critics Award for Best Play and running over 2 years, and that was a very long run for a serious drama. Among the actors who played the role of Merrick during the original Broadway run were David Bowie, a current revival starring Bradley Cooper, for whom we at EPAC are separated only by 2 degrees, or 1 depending on who you count it, and Patricia Clarkston is currently a huge hit. Now, to read a scene from The Elephant Man is me, and Christy, I will need to share your script because I forgot to bring mine on stage. So, Christy will be reading the role of Mrs. Kendall, I will be reading the role of Dr. Travers, and Sean Definitely will be reading the role of John Merrick, the Elephant Man. Let me get this out of our way. At this point in the show, John Merrick has been staying at the London Hospital and has become sort of a celebrity. Travers, the doctor who was taking care of him and examining him, has called in. John is very lonely and desiring of company. He's called in a famous actress, Mrs. Kendall, to introduce him to John Merrick. So, Mrs. Kendall, you are acquainted with his appearance.
He reminds me of an audience I played Cleopatra for in Britain once. Huge grim head and grimace and utterly unable to clap.
You see, I thought it would be a good idea to bring an actress in to meet him. After all, you are trained in hiding your true feelings.
You mean unlike most women, I am famous for it, that is really all. I could not help but notice from the photographs that, well, the unafflicted parts, how shall I put it,
Oh, I see. Well, you see, there is a link between the bone disorder and the skin growths, and for the life of me, I haven't discovered what it is or why it is. But in any case, you see, this part is therefore unlikely to be affected because there is no bone in it. None at all.
well, learn a little every day, don't we?
I'm horribly embarrassed.
Are you? Then he must be lonely indeed.
John! John, this is Mrs. Kendall. She came here to meet you. Well, I have things to take care of. I shall leave you two for a while, and I shall be back later.
Good morning, Mr. Merrick.
I plan so many things to say. I forget them. You are so beautiful.
How charming, Mr. Merrick.
Well, really, that was what I planned to say. That I forgot what I planned to say. I couldn't think of anything else. I was so excited.
Real charm is always planned, don't you think?
Well, I do not know why I look like this, Mrs. Kendall. My mother was so beautiful. She was knocked down by an elephant in a circus while she was pregnant. Something must have happened, don't you think?
It may well have.
It may well have. But sometimes I think my head is so big because it is so full of dreams. Because it is. Do you know what happens when dreams cannot get out?
I know.
I don't either. Something must. Well, you are a famous actress.
Well, I am not unknown.
You must display yourself for your living then, like I did.
Well, that is not myself, Mr. Merrick. That is an illusion. This is myself.
This is myself, too.
Frederick says you like to read, so, books?
I am reading Romeo and Juliet now.
Oh, Juliet, what a love story. Oh, I do love love stories.
I like love stories best, too. If I had been Romeo, guess what?
What?
I would not have held the mirror to her breast.
You mean the scene where Juliet appears to be dead, but he holds a mirror to her breath and sees...
Nothing. How does it feel when he kills himself? Because he just sees nothing.
Well, my experience as Juliet has been particular with an actor I will not name. That while I was laying there dead, 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 and he is lamenting excessively, I get to thinking that if this slab of ham does not part from the ham hock of his light toot sweet, I am going to scream, pop off the tomb, and plunge a dagger into his scene-stealing heart. Romeos are very unpredictable.
Because he does not care for Juliet.
Not care?
Does take a pulse? Does he get a doctor? Does he make sure? No. He tells himself. The illusion fools him because he does not care for her. He only cares about himself. If I had been Romeo, we would have got away.
But then there would have been no play, Mr. Merrick.
If he did not love her, why should there be a play? Look looking in a mirror and seeing nothing. That is not love. It was all an illusion. When the illusion ended, he had to kill himself.
Yeah. That is extraordinary.
Before I spoke with people, I did not think of all these things because there was no one to bother to think them for. Now things just come out of my mouth which are true.
Musical this year will be Carrie the Musical, based upon the Stephen King novel and the movie and the remakes after that, about a girl who has kinetic powers. But before you come to Carrie the Musical, though, this is not some camp Rocky Horror. This is not the Evil Dead the Musical, some campy version of Carrie. Carrie the Musical is a very romantic and yet serious tome about bullying, about self-acceptance, and using the musical styles from everything from Puccini-esque grand opera to pop music to tell the story. So we'll now have 3 selections from Carrie. First, Christy Olier singing the title song, Carrie. Then Ms. Elizabeth Patey and Stacia Smith singing Eve Was Weak, which is Carrie and her mother. And we're ending with the song Unsuspecting Hearts, sung by Stacia and Christy again. Please enjoy 3 selections from Carrie the Musical. Did you want this? Okay.
And God made Eve from Adam's rib, and Eve was weak, and Eve was weak, and I was weak. I prayed to God this day would never come. I should have known. I should have known. Now I'm alone and so afraid. Oh Lord, I've seen His power before. The flesh is weak, but I am your Father. Don't forsake her, Father, take her, cleanse and purify her with the fire and the power and the glory forever and ever and ever.
Brings us to our last musical of the year, which is, believe it or not, December 2015, a year away, but we're already planning for it. Our 2015 holiday show will be Shrek the Musical, based upon the famous animated film. Singing the story of Shrek, the story about the ogre trying to find happiness in a fairy tale land, is Mr. Brian Smith, who will be singing the role of Shrek. We will have 3 songs from Shrek: Big, Bright, Beautiful World with Brian, and Shrek's mother, Elizabeth Patey, and his father, sung by Nick Smith. Then we'll have Traveling Song with Brian as Shrek, and Sean Deafly as Donkey, and we'll end with What I'll Be, with Brian, Stacia Smith as Fiona, and Sean Deafly again as Donkey. So please enjoy our 3 selections from Shrek the Musical. Oh.
Once upon a time, little ogre who lived with his parents in a bog by a tree. It was a pretty nasty place, but he was happy because ogres like nasty. On his 7th birthday, the little ogre's parents sat him down to talk, just as all ogre parents had for hundreds of years before.
Listen, son, you're growing up so quickly. Growing up bigger by the day.
Although we want you here, the rules are very clear.
You're 7.
Now you're 7, so it's time to go away. Take some words of wisdom for your trip.
These are little things you need to know.
When you are grotesque, life is like a fest.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking and you'll find somewhere to go. It's a big, bright, beautiful world with happiness all around. It's peaches and cream and every dream comes true. But not for you. It's a big, bright, beautiful world with possibilities everywhere. And just around the bend, there's a front door too. But not for you.
Keep your big, bright, beautiful world. I'm happy where I am, all alone. I got all I need, so leave the stink inside. Yeah, yeah, keep your big, bright, beautiful world. I'm party on my own anyway, doing what I can with all one line on the line. Yeah, your big, bright, beautiful world is all teddy bears and unicorns. Take your fluffy fun and shove it where the sun don't shine. I prefer a life like this, not that complicated. You see, I'm fated to be lonely and destined to be hated. If you read the books they say, that's why I was created, but I don't care. Because being alive is grossly overrated. Who needs a big, bright, beautiful world? I got my own little patch of the world. It's not a big, bright, beautiful world, but it's mine. No, it's mine. It's mine. Oh, mine.
Sing a song, yes, a travel song when you gotta go somewhere. Oh boy.
Cause the feeling is getting there.
Oh, what the heck? I must confess, I love a road trip. Sing a song, hit the road. Forget the maps,
Forget the guys.
before you know it, you've made strides with me. And I know what I need all along is a path and a ballad and a song. So I'm singing and I'm palling with you. See, it makes the time go by faster.
Why me? Tell me what was my crime?
This is nice.
As chatty as a parrot, more annoying than a mime.
Oh, look, a cat wearing boots. That's crazy.
Why me? Why me? A simple answer would be fine. streets and in a sign. Oh, and I know I need to deserve this song. But this ass of mine, and this ass of mine, why am I with you? Guess I'd be a hero, sword and armor clashing, looking semi-dashing, a shield within my grip. Or else I'd be a Viking, live a life of daring, while smelling like a herring. Upon a Viking ship, I'd sail away, I'd see the world, I'd reach the farthest reaches, I'd feel the wind, I'd taste the salt and sea, and maybe storm some beaches. Ha! That's who I'd be. That's who I'd be. Or I could be a poet and write a different story, one that tells of wipes away the lies. To the skies I throw it, the stars that do the telling, the moon would help me swimming, and night would dot the eyes. I'd write a verse, recite a joke, with wit and perfect timing. I'd share my heart, confess the things I learned, and do it all while rhyming. But we all learn, but we all learn. And Ogre's fate is known, and Ogre always stays in the dark and all alone. So yes, I'd be a hero, and if my wish were granted, life would be enchanting, or so the stories say. Of course I'd be a hero, and I would scare the tower, save a hothouse flower and carry her away. But standing guard would be a beast, I'd somehow overwhelm it. I'd keep the girl, I'd keep her breath, and I'd remove my helmet. We stand and stare, we speak of love, we feel the stars ascending. We share a kiss, and find my destiny. I'd have a hero's ending, a perfect ending. That's how it would be. A big, bright, beautiful world, but not for me.
An ogre always hides, an ogre's fate is known, an ogre always stays in the dark.
Close our little show tonight. I hope you have a good taste of what's to come in the next year. To reiterate what Joan Adams said, if you are not a subscriber, please do subscribe. If you know somebody who would like to subscribe, please subscribe. Subscriptions are so important to us. They are the seed money. Without a certain amount of subscriptions, we could not start the season. So don't think of your subscriptions as just tickets. Subscriptions are much more. Subscriptions are, you are the backers. You are the producers of the season. By buying a subscription before the season, you are giving us the seed money to produce another season of theater that matters. So think of yourself as all our angels, our producers, our backers to EPAC when you buy a subscription. A little side note here, if I may. We at EPAC here consider ourselves a family. I've worked with some of these people since they were kids. I've worked with some of these people for more than half of my life, year after year, several times. Sometimes my children move on to bigger and better things, and sometimes they stay here in the family circle and grow with me and continue to produce art, just like any family. This year, we've lost a very valuable family member of EPAC. You probably all know her since you're subscribers. Her name was Wendy Caldwell. She passed away, I believe, last week. Those of you who know Wendy, if you don't know her, you have seen her countless of times. When she passed, and it was on Facebook and people were talking about her, it really hit me seeing all the pictures of Wendy that go back a long, long time, and me realizing how many shows I had done with her, how many shows, how many years we were together, and how many journeys we had taken together. Wendy was one of our leading members of our family, and we always took her for granted. Wendy was always going to be there. She was always going to be in shows. She was always dependable, whether it was ensemble, or a lead in the full Monty, or Xanadu, or ensemble in Wonderful Town, or a little character bit, a cameo. You could always depend on her. It really put into perspective with Wendy's passing, and that she's no longer here, what EPAC is about, who we are, what we stand for, and how bonded we all are. And that includes you, my friends. That includes people who have been coming here year after year and buying a subscription, sitting, watching us grow, watching us change, watching me grow older, thinner, fatter, different every year. And you are family, and we get together for dinner 7 times a year. And another thing Wendy taught me, and her passing taught me, was don't take people for granted. You know, it's so easy when you go show after show and you work with the same people, and you know, don't take anybody for granted. And we always take for granted the people who we shouldn't, the people that we just assume will always be here. And we always take them for granted because we assume they'll always be here tomorrow, and then one day they're just not. So don't take anything or anyone for granted. It's kind of funny that we are doing, kind of funny, ironic, whatever, profound, that we are doing Lacage this year, because it just hit me that Lacage was, I think, the first show that I had worked with Wendy to Fulton first, an ensemble, and I think Lacage was the first show I had done with her, where she played my Alban's assistant. I was Alban, she played my assistant. And there's a funny story that a very good friend of mine, actor Andrew Terranova, was supposed to dress me during the number, big musical number, and I come on stage, he was supposed to dress me, but he couldn't, he freaked out, he was having a nervous breakdown, I can't do it! And then when she came, Wendy says, I'll do it. And she came and she dressed me, and she was very funny in the show, and that was the first show she was in, so, you know, and then we're doing it again this year, and I'm going to dedicate the show to her this year when we do it. And this is the last song in our show tonight, and it's from Lacage. It's called The Best of Times, and this sums up so much of what Wendy believed and what Wendy has taught us. So I am dedicating this song to her tonight, okay? we are all, I shouldn't say me, we are all dedicating this song to Wendy tonight. Best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So hold this moment fast and live in love as hard as you can, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. Now, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is too far away. So hold this moment fast and live in love as hard as you know, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? So will this moment last, and live and love as hard as you know, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. No, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is so far away. So hold this moment fast and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So hold this moment fast and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now, is now, is now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You were wonderful tonight. I hope you brought a little preview. One more applause for a wonderful cast. Jason Smith, Nick Smith, our own Christy Oliver, our own John Douglas, my good friend Brian Smith, the wonderful, wonderful Elizabeth Petty is on the door, and Zachary Smith, our musical commentary director, and of course I'm Miss Hernandez. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you at the family table soon. Bring the